there are some delinquent officers who aren't showing up, and we have to take them out of the system until they actually get trained. So I'm going to do them a favor of recording it so they can review it, and then we will put them back in the system. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. We have all the event coordinators in here for a reason. For about the first hour, we're going to give you a mindset shift. This is where we're headed in BNI now. I'm sorry, I can't. All this winging back and forth. I don't mean to leave you out, but it's hard. But I really want to set a stage for you of where we're going from here forward with BNI. I have been wanting for a long time to increase our professionalism, increase our ability to do a really strong culture in BNI of business orientation totally across the board. I want to increase the balance in the chapters between the business and consumer and the business to business. And I've been working for years trying to ramp that up. But I think we're at a point where we are ready to do that. But it dawned on me, I've been really praying about it, studying about it, trying to figure out what is the hold up that some people have about BNI. And let me just ask you first, and we're going to put some goals up that we're going to paste on the wall. So I want you to tell me, first of all, what would you like to see your chapter look like? And I'm going to write them. What would you like to see your chapter look like?
40 members.
What else? They're all there, right? Attendance. Room dues, right? Room dues. No, it's not. That's my goal for this year. Okay. We have one that's approaching, or will, one of their goals is 4. Okay. What else? If I spell this wrong, I'm a little brain dead. And this doesn't have spell check in it. If you guys create one, we could all share in the proceeds, right? Okay. Anything else? Retention. Wouldn't you like to keep your members, those that are worth it? Obviously, you don't want to lose them on one end, right? Gain them on another. What else is on these sheets? Miranda's going to read what's been written all day long. See if there's anything else. Committed's a really good one.
You got one-to-ones on there, more one-to-ones.
She had more one-to-ones. Strong leaders. So what you put? Commitment. What else?
Accountability.
You want accountability? Yeah.
Socially interact together.
More social, more whatever. What's that? Fun, right? Fun meetings, right? What else?
Growth,
Growth,
engagement, everybody
engagement.
engaged. Enthusiasm.
Right here.
Just right. It's that afternoon.
Yeah, everybody wake up.
Yeah.
Y'all need a cup of coffee. We got some back there. Anything else?
Cheers. Cheers. You know, people being more active with everything.
Instead of you just doing it by, with just a few people, right? The many. Okay. If you think of any more, we'll add these. Let's go over here. Your personal goals. You personally, what do you want out of BNI? Miranda said, is that okay with everybody?
Sometimes people do it just for their, like Debbie's always talking about, she's super shy. So she has the opportunity to grow personally or be able to communicate that.
What's that?
I said it's a self-proof to be shy. Training.
Okay. Working smarter.
Branding.
Friendship. We make really good friends. Like training classes on
Support.
I hadn't heard that all day.
Oh.
Building your contact list.
Any more goals? Okay. Well, could you put those on the wall for me? That would help, right?
trying to figure out whether growth and dollars are the same thing.
Sometimes they're two separate things. Yeah, partnerships.
In my business, I don't have everything, but I have it.
This is a big word in today's world. Be a hub for your clients, right? Okay. Miranda's going to put them up over here. We're going to refer back. You can just kind of look at them and see. One of the things I want to help you see is that these goals for your chapter and the goals for you personally are important to you. It's like the what's in it for me, right? And how many of you agree that you do things because you want to get something out of them, typically? Now, once in a while you do things because you just want to help people. But truly, most people, you have to have a little bit of what's in it for me, right? To be honest, we're all human, that's what we want. How many of you also have heard the statement, BNI takes too much work? That's a universal yes, right? Okay. I've heard that too. And it used to really hurt my feelings in the sense of like, I don't want to, because on the disc, I'm a very high S person, for those of you who know what that means. It means I'm a big nurturer, and I'm really like super sensitive to not want to bother people or hurt them or cause them any problems or whatever. And so that used to worry me, is like, well, how can I help them get stuff out of BNI, but I know it really takes work. And this is what finally dawned on me after listening to a lot of things. Let me ask you this about your personal business. All right, in your personal business, either you own it or you are just beginning it, or maybe you are commission sales, but you own that section, you're getting commission sales for it. You don't own the agency, you just own what you do personally, and you're responsible for your book of business. So based on that, say you own your own business, what are some of the things you personally need to do in your business to make it successful? Let's put those up here. Everything that has to do with what you do to run your business. Sell.
Process. Hire staff. Follow up.
This also doesn't have speed rate. So, okay, collect, hire the staff, and somebody said something else. Follow up.
Order product.
Pay bills. That's optional.
What else?
Payroll. You're gonna write that down. Oh, that was a test, Jake.
I thought you couldn't see it.
No, you bought it.
Product knowledge, right? What else?
Develop new products.
New flavors of bread.
I do what I call problem solving. Once I'm running a fire, I figure it out. Nobody else is more qualified than I am.
What else? What else did we put on there?
Business meetings.
Advertise. Somebody said business meetings. Yep, payroll.
Build your clientele. Then, hiring and training.
Hire staff. Train them too.
On my personal one, one of the things I did workers' comp and liability audits, constantly scheduled stuff.
Financial.
Doing the financial.
Oh, financials.
You know,
Okay, we'll stop there, but there's probably more. Why are you guys in business? Gee, you have a lot to do. Didn't you hear that being an entrepreneur was easy? It's going to free up your time, right? Okay, that's a lot, right? How many of you have ever thought, gee, is this really worth it? You know, you sometimes get to feeling that way, especially when you don't get a vacation, because you've got to do whatever's on the sheet, or you can't take time, or whatever, all right? So you've seen this, that they have pie charts. You know, some of these things are going to take a large amount of time. Some are going to take a real small part. Have you seen that for businesses? Right? So you try to figure out, okay, this is a big part. This might be so much. You're going to figure out everybody's business is going to be different. Your pie chart will look different than yours and yours and yours. But in this, you have to designate all these things, whatever applies to your business, you got to put over here and know how much time you allocate to that, right? Am I on track right now? Everybody agree with that? All right. The point is, let's look at this. Okay? These are all part of helping your business grow, right? You have to do those. So let's just put in here that we're going to put marketing. And I don't know, excuse me, for your business, how you might be a big part of your pie, I don't know. But it has to be here somewhere. Everybody okay with that? Has to be on our pie chart. All right, now, what forms of marketing? We put some here, like advertising. Speaking. I'm going to write down here. There's a lot of choices you have, but they all fit under marketing, which means for you and your business, you're going to choose some of these. Some of these are important to you. If you don't market, what happens to your business? So it's sort of down, 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 right? You have to do something for the marketing part to work for you. You would want the most effective form of marketing for you. So maybe you have a lot of extra income. You might be able to afford TV or radio or some higher forms of advertising. So they take money. Sometimes lots of money, depending. All right, for those of us who don't have a lot of money, we have to count on other methods, right? And that is where some of these things come in. We might go to a lot of events. We might do social media. Some companies buy internet leads, you know, those kind of things. And some of you pick BNI. Do you know what the ratio of turnover of conversion, I should say, percentages are? Would you consider percentage turnover to be important to you for your marketing? Sure, you want your efforts to be worth something, right? So let's think about this. Did you realize, I could tell you a little story if you don't. Many years ago, when we made that first big jump in the dues for BNI, this was a couple years ago, BNI commissioned an outside company to do a study to make sure we were being of value to the members and making sure we were offering value for what they were giving us in return for membership. So they hired an outside company to come in and study, but they wanted us compared all over the world because we have BNI in 60 countries. So this company took over a year, I believe, to do the study. And they studied every single networking organization that's out there, from the little ones to the big ones like LeadershipTraining3, some that have been around a long time. And they studied those and compared how we stack up. And they brought the results back to BNI and said, technically speaking, you should be offering, we were offering under $400 at the time for membership. I think it was like $395 or $3 whatever it was. And they said that you should technically be charging, and their recommended fee was $800. That was what they recommended to us. And they explained to us that when you were so different from all the other organizations that they studied, and this is why they recommended that. They said that when they studied BNI, it showed that our ratio of the closed business that we get, the referrals come in faster, and they're much more productive. And this is the kicker, that out of everything else out there, no matter what it was, attending chambers, attending any other networking organization, that the ROI, return on investment, for BNI members, everything being equal, in other words, you have to do your part, was 5 times higher than anything else out there. So it made us feel good. It was like, okay, when you have a membership in BNI, at least you have a premium product line to be able to market your business. Now, results will vary depending on how well you use the product. So let me give you a physical example. When you buy a luxury car, we'll use Mercedes. All right, so Chris, I'm buying a Mercedes. I'm buying it from Chris. You're now a car dealer, Chris. No longer. Okay. Okay. I'm buying this from him, and so I'm going to go. I'm buying this luxury vehicle, and so this means if I'm paying this much money for this vehicle, I do not have to do anything. It's just going to drive, other than me driving it. It's going to just drive and drive and drive, and I'm going to expect it to do everything it needs to do without me taking care of it, right?
Why?
Should I expect that?
Maybe.
To a certain extent. So what do you mean by a certain extent?
May require maintenance here and there.
A little maintenance. A little maintenance. So what kind of maintenance?
Occasional oil change.
Okay.
Maybe the brakes wear out.
The brakes wear out on my vehicle? After all that money, the brakes better not wear out, right? Oh, gas. I have to put gas in. I did earn a Mercedes once in another company I worked in. I earned one. And it was funny. We picked it up. We had to take it on a trip to a conference. And I didn't read the manual. Okay? So we drive into this gas station, and I can't find how to put gas in it because it's real technical. We had to push OnStar and go, how do you put gas in a Mercedes? And they had to tell us over the OnStar how to do that. It was quite embarrassing. I'm glad they couldn't see on the OnStar what we actually did. But then I hit a pothole after we had that big old ice storm many, many years ago. That's when I earned this car many, many years ago. And I hit a pothole, and it bent the rim and the tire. They're expensive to replace those things. Okay, so Chris, I can take this to my buddy down the road. He's a mechanic, to repair my Mercedes anytime something happens to it, right?
You could, but it may void the warranty.
Oh, voids the warranty, right? So I have to take it to a certified Mercedes mechanic. That would be the wise thing to do, okay. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? Darn it. BNI is a premium, like a Mercedes. But rats, there's maintenance, right? There's maintenance to it. There's extra things we have to do. We have to read the manual to know where to put the gas, know how to take care of stuff, know how to do all that stuff. So unfortunately, what happens is that just like your business, there is work involved, and it takes time. I know it took time whenever I had to take it to the Mercedes dealer. They had to give me a ride home, and they fixed it. I couldn't just take it to my local place. But I gave an education segment a while back, a couple weeks ago, if you remember. What did I say if they say BNI takes too much work? What did I say to replace BNI with? This is a test. Did you pay attention to the education segment? Oh, dear me. My business choice of marketing, or my business marketing, takes work. Do you know why BNI takes work? Because it works. Who's the one that we have to trust? I mean, we could put out ads, and we could have somebody do a voice for us on the radio or whatever. But in referral marketing, what's the biggest deal about referral marketing? Who's involved? Who has to be there? It's you, right? You have to show up. you have to be the spokesperson. You have to be the image behind what we refer, because we refer you. We don't just refer your company. So it takes time to attend meetings. It takes time to show up. It takes time to do all that. But we chose, out of all of these things, we might do some of the rest. We might do some internet leads. Well, if you do internet leads, you have to call. They don't just because you have that list on your paper, on your desk, they don't call you, right? You have to call them. So you're cold calling, right? You have to fill in social media. You have to attend chambers. The only time where you have to give feedback on these, but somebody else may do your ad for you. But when you're doing this, BNI takes time because it involves you. Now I want to show you something really important. Here is where you have your marketing. If you choose BNI, is that separate from your business or part of it? It's part of it. You cannot, like one of the questions in Tupelo was for one of the new chapters, how do I balance my BNI membership with the fact I'm building my business? And that's what triggered this example. I just did it yesterday for the first time. I said, you don't. You put it together. And I showed them this example. Because really, truly, it's not separate. It's part of what you're doing to build whose business? Your business, right? Each one of you individually. You cannot take it out. So when you say BNI takes too much work, what you are really saying is my business marketing, the method I chose, which is word of mouth, takes more work. But the return is 5 times higher. So there is an advantage. But you have to take the work. Now, as a leader, we put extra work on you. But I'm going to help you, hopefully, today to see that the work is for you. Because just think of one thing. Would you give your company over to somebody else to run it and expect they're going to do a good job for you, typically speaking? Or do you want control over it? Anybody not want control? It's your business, right? It's your business marketing in your chapter. If you want to give control over to somebody who's not doing a very good job just because you don't have time but they do, but they're running your chapter into the ground, what are you doing? You're not really helping yourself, are you? You know, so what I'm trying to say to you is we want the best leaders to run the business of the chapter because really it's your business. And the better you do at your role, the stronger the marketing opportunity for you, the stronger your chapter, the more people that all these things happen. The more you get more people coming in, the more you grow, the more money you make. It's all because the chapter's either strong or it's weak. The leadership makes a big difference to that, and you have a chance to guide your own personal marketing by running part of the leadership. So today, I'm going to go through tools to help you run it better. And the other preceding groups, they learned some tips and techniques that Connect is putting into place now to make your job really simple. We're going to show you those. And if you do it right, leaders usually get more exposure, which means you typically, as a leader, get more business. It's just statistics. You end up getting more business because you're up there all the time. And only if you're a good leader. If you're a crummy leader, it works in reverse. I'm sorry. But they look at you like, oh, geez, I'd never give them my business, right? So we don't want to do that. We want to learn how to do it right. Part of the thing that I'm doing is building more of a team. Because I know the BNI way. After 17 years, I better. And a lot of study that I put into it, a lot of mentoring by lots of different groups around the country and around the world. I take advantage of that. However, in my region, I have a lot of people who are smarter than me on certain things. Miranda's one of my directors. Bruce is one of my directors. Joan was left, I think. Tammy is an ambassador. And what I'm doing is I'm picking people who have skills in areas I don't. And I'm going to introduce Tammy next, because Tammy is going to do a separate section for you. Tammy comes from a background of 25 years in corporate America. I have 0. 0 years in corporate America. So that's a big chunk of me that doesn't know that world, but some of you are in that world. And corporate America definitely has a lot of training that I never got. And I like being able to pick people's brains to know how they worked in corporate America. Tammy's had a lot of experience and training in changing companies and changing cultures. And when I spoke to her about my desire to change the culture in BNI, to raise the bar, to make us appear and be more professional, and we've talked quite a bit back and forth, and I told her I wanted honest input from her, and I wanted feedback in areas that we can grow. So I'm bringing a lot more people onto the team that have different skills in different areas that can help you, that can help our region, and in the end can give us good visibility all across this whole Mid-South region. So I want to introduce Tammy. She's going to come up and give you a little background, but her name's Tammy Zurich. She's in the Business Advantage chapter. So would you welcome Tammy, please?